Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a new makeup releases video. I've been really enjoying filming these and I really love watching these type of videos. I just think that they are a whole lot of fun to just chat about new makeup releases. Honestly though, these things that are coming out, most of it I am just not interested at all. There's a couple things that seem nice, but I still wouldn't buy. Yeah, some of these things, yeah, there's not much that's impressing me this week, but you know, I thought it would be fun to talk about. Like I said, I just like chatting about makeup, and let's just get started. All right, the first thing I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to lie, I hate this. I hate everything about this. The Hourglass Curator eyeshadows. Okay, where to start? I hate the shape of the pans. Just really don't like it. The price is really intense on these. So these are vegan, they have 40 shades. A refill is $29. One pan of eyeshadow is $31. A 3-pan is $99, and a 5-pan is $161. Now, there are products from Hourglass I really like. I like their finishing powders and their blushes, and I think that they're formulated very nicely. And they are expensive, but you know, it's like $40 for a blush. Some of their powders I think are $48. You can get a mini for $23. I don't think that's that bad, honestly. It's a luxury brand. I'm okay with a brand that is considered luxury to be charging more, but this kind of price for eyeshadow just seems like really out there. I mean, a Natasha Denona palette, I mean, you can get the minis for $25. You can get her $65 palettes and her $129 palettes and so on and so forth. But I mean, at least with her palettes, you get more eyeshadows. 5 eyeshadows for $161. I mean, I'm not even mildly interested in this. Like I said, I straight up don't like this at all. There is no way I would pay that much. I haven't heard many great things about the Hourglass eyeshadows. Now, this is a whole new formula and they're redoing it, but in the past they have had eyeshadows before, and I didn't see any good reviews. It seemed like most people thought they were mediocre to not that good. You know, just based on reviews I saw many years ago, but yeah, this is a big no for me. The next thing is a new Sephora favorite set, and I have really mixed feelings on these Sephora favorite sets. So this one is $45. So you get an Anastasia mascara, Benefit liquid liner, Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, Tarte cream blush, Ilia lip oil and balm, Practk top brow wax. So, I mean, you get a lot of stuff. I've bought a few of these Sephora favorite sets over the years, and I mostly ended up being disappointed. Now, I just think it really depends on what you're interested out of there. If you're really only interested in like 1 or 2 or 3 of the things, personally, I think you're better off buying a full size. If you really want to try the majority of the items, then I do think it's a great way to try them out. And if you really like it, then you could repurchase if you actually finish it. I mean, minis take a while to finish anyway of makeup. So really, I think from that standpoint, it's not bad. If you really wanted to try, like, I would say 3/4 of the items or everything in here, then I definitely think it's worth it. Like for me, out of this one, there's not much I would be interested in. I have heard good things about those Tarte cream blushes though, but I mean, if I just wanted to buy a full size of the Tarte blushes, they're like $20-something, whereas this set is $45. So I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is, from my standpoint, these are not worth it if I'm not that interested in the other products, because then I'm left with things I'm just not that into. So I really don't buy these anymore. Personally, I do think these make really good gifts. I do tend to buy these sets from Sephora and Ulta as like Christmas gifts and stuff for people, because I do think that they're a great way, especially because if you're buying something for someone else, you don't know exactly what they're gonna like. You don't really know, you know, exactly their preferences. I mean, you may or may not, but I tend to buy these as gifts for other people, but for myself, they just never really end up being worth it for me. All right, Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with some new eyeshadow quads. I mean, these colors look like standard eyeshadows from Charlotte Tilbury. A lot of these like pinks and browns. She releases a lot of colors like that. It's definitely the vibe of the brand, and I'm totally okay with that. The packaging is gorgeous, I must say, absolutely beautiful. And I do have I have a full-size eyeshadow palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and I do have 2 quads. I actually really like her formula. I think it's very, very good. But I just think that she releases a lot of the same colors over and over again. So based on what I have, I don't really need to be buying more Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, like unless it was actually something different. Like she does have a quad with greens. That one looks pretty, and I think that is different enough from the rest of my Charlotte Tilbury collection, but this looks so much like, I mean, this doesn't look that different from like her Pillow Talk and other quads. So I mean, if you have not tried the brand, this would be a good way to do it, because also this packaging is beautiful. And like I said, I like her eyeshadow formula. My issue is that she just releases a lot of palettes that look the same as other palettes that she already has. So next up, they have announced that Bobbi Brown is now at Ulta, which, I mean, I love to see more brands at Ulta. I've said this before. I am much more likely to shop at Ulta over Sephora, but there's just some brands that I can only find at Sephora, which is why I still shop there. Bobbi Brown is like an okay brand. I have a few things from the brand that I like, but you know, it doesn't blow me away. What makes me even sadder is that I just realized that Dose of Colors is not at Ulta anymore. I am really disappointed. I mean, I really, like I said, I want Ulta to have new brands. I'm fine with them having Bobbi Brown, but I am so sad that Dose of Colors is not there anymore, because there's more things I want to buy. And I mean, I can totally buy them from the Dose of Colors website, but I like to get those Ulta points. I think the Ulta point system is great. So yeah, I was really, really disappointed. I mean, I really like Dose of Colors. There's more things I want to get. I really like their liquid lipsticks. So yeah, overall kind of a bummer. And to me, Bobbi Brown is like not that exciting of a brand. Now, if they started to have Fenty or Rare Beauty or Tower 28 at Ulta, now that would be super exciting for me, because those are brands that I just have recently purchased from and I want to buy more. So I would love to see some more brands at Ulta, but I know some of them are definitely like exclusive Sephora brands, and that's not going to happen. But yeah, side note, I was really sad that Dose of Colors is not at Ulta anymore. Okay, this next release is one of the few that I think is really, really nice, but I still wouldn't buy it. The Juvia's Place quads though. So they have come out with Honey, Army Green, Mint, and Gray. These are beautiful, and I do love the Juvia's Place formula. I tend not to reach for quads or mini palettes all that much, and with my low buy, I can only buy a certain number of palettes for the year, so I feel like for me it would be more worth it to get a bit of a bigger palette. And I just tend to reach for palettes that have like more like 8 to 18 eyeshadows. I want to get a bit more variety. I feel like quads and mini palettes, especially when they're monochromatic, I just feel like I can only do 1 or 2 looks with them. So personally, I just prefer like medium-sized eyeshadow palettes. I'm definitely not as into like the 30-something pan eyeshadows, but I think these are absolutely gorgeous, but I'm just not that into quads. Okay, there are a few ColourPop releases I'm gonna talk about. So they released a cherry collection. And when I saw this, I was thoroughly confused, because I thought they already had a cherry collection, but then I realized that this palette just looks similar to like their watermelon palette and their strawberry palette. I mean, I'm sure they're not identical, but yeah, I don't know. ColourPop and their repetitive palettes, it's just crazy to me how many palettes they have now that look so similar to each other. I mean, I think this is pretty, but I don't know. To me, this just looks like every other palette that they have that are in this like pinky red type colors. Okay, this next release, when I saw this, I was like, what? Why? Urban Decay coming out with the Naked Mini 3 palette. $29. I don't know. I mean, I get it. The Naked line is what makes them popular, and I do feel like it is a line that a lot of people who are not avid watchers of the beauty community are buying from. I mean, the Naked palettes are something that I feel like people who don't watch YouTube are fully aware of those, and they're really, really popular. So I totally get it from that standpoint. It's just kind of funny though that it took them this long. I don't know why they didn't release this like 4 years ago. I actually used to own all of the Naked palettes, and the Naked 3 I really did love with these rose tones. It was one of my favorites. This was probably my favorite palette for a while. So actually I think it's a really beautiful palette, and this one is vegan. But for me, I mean, this is just a big no. I have zero interest in this at all. from the point of Urban Decay, I get it, but I feel like they should have released this years ago. And yeah, like I said, the Naked line, obviously very popular. I think it does very well with people who are, you know, just your average consumer walking into Ulta buying eyeshadow. But I guess I'm more just confused that they didn't release this a million years ago when they were releasing all of like their Naked palettes and then the mini palettes. So I don't know. To me, this just seems like a bit late to the party, but I did used to love the Naked 3 palette, but I wouldn't buy this. I was really excited to see what summer collection e.l.f. would release because their Retro Paradise palette, which they released last summer, is so beautiful and I love it. And so they've released this pretty large collection, which is a collab with 3 international music artists. So there's a lot of stuff here. There's highlighter, there's an eyeshadow palette, shadow sticks, and more. It's a lot. I was interested to see what the palette would look like. It looks a bit lackluster to me. I don't know, this color story is not very exciting, especially when I compare it to the Retro Paradise, which they released last summer, which, I mean, I get that this is a collab with these musical artists, so obviously they're picking what they like, but yeah, I don't know. To me, the palette doesn't look all that interesting per se. I think it's a cool collab though. I mean, honestly, I like to see brands collabing with people who aren't, you know, the same 5 influencers over again. I mean, I think it's nice to see something different, but this is just not something that interests me. Okay, then we have a release from Wet n Wild, which, yeah, I'm gonna say what everybody else has said about this. So it's their Wild Crush collection. So they have a honey palette, cherry, cocoa, and purple passion. Yeah. People have already said it. All the comments on the Trend Mood on Instagram are like, yeah, these look like the ColourPop palettes. And I'm usually not someone who's like, oh, like this brand copied this other brand, because first of all, there's a finite amount of, you know, makeup and colors out there and ideas that you can do with makeup. Second of all, makeup takes a while to produce. Most companies are not able to produce things, you know, overnight or within a week. Sometimes it takes many, many months. So I'm not someone who's usually saying, oh, this was clearly copied from this other brand, but this looks so much like the ColourPop palettes. I mean, down to the font on it. So yeah, that's what I don't get about Wet n Wild. So, okay, overall, I actually really like a lot of Wet n Wild products, and it is a brand I have been buying from for a very, very long time. But they occasionally do this where they do these kind of like copycat type products, but most of their products are not copycat type products. I kind of don't really get it, because Wet n Wild, they did a palette that was kind of like the Morphe James Charles palette, but although it's just a rainbow palette, I don't know. It's kind of strange because I do feel like Wet n Wild comes up with their own fantastic ideas and have some great products. But then occasionally they do this type of thing that looks more like Makeup Revolution. Although Makeup Revolution does that too, where they have their own products, but then they randomly do this whole like duping other brands thing. I don't know. I don't really get it. I think it's a little bit confusing. Personally, I would rather have just Wet n Wild stick to what they do. They have some great products. I don't know. To me, I'm definitely not interested in this at all. Okay, there's an Hermes highlighter coming out, and I have to say it's beautiful. I didn't see a price on it, but their blushes that they came out with were somewhere around $80. And I definitely have like luxury makeup from Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, but I don't know, the Hermes stuff to me, it's just too much. I'm not interested in paying that much. And honestly, I would rather like save up and buy accessories or something from this brand. I don't have anything from Hermes, but I don't know. For me, I'm just not interested in paying like $80 for one pan of something, even though I do think this highlighter looks beautiful, but I don't know, like, and Valentino has a brand now, I don't know. I feel like some of these super duper luxury brands, I mean, I guess I'm not the target audience, but if I were to buy something luxury and designer, I would rather save up to buy like an accessory or something that I can wear for years and years and years and not makeup that's going to expire. So I don't know. I am okay with luxury brands, but for me, I have a limit. And yeah, Hermes is beyond that. This next release, I was so confused because I thought that this already existed. So Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with her Eyes to Mesmerize shadows that are $32 each in Walk of Shame and Pillow Talk, which I guess I just assumed she already had those colors. I don't know. I've heard really good things about these shadows, but for $32, I just know I would not get my money's worth. I'm not a cream shadow person. I like more just traditional powder eyeshadows. I like palettes. So I do think these are beautiful and I've heard really, really good reviews, but I'm just trying to, tell myself, hey, this is not my personal preference. I know I'm not going to use it that much, so I definitely should not buy it. At the time I'm filming this video, ColourPop just announced that they're having a Powerpuff Girls collab. Now, I haven't seen the actual products. They just showed the packaging. I gotta say, this is really, really cute. And I did used to watch the Powerpuff Girls, and I think that they're really, really cute. But, like I said, I haven't seen the actual products. I would not buy this. And wow, ColourPop is on that collab train. They, in the last year, are just going like crazy with all of these collabs. Good for them. You know what? Good for them. I think they are making a lot of money, which is why they are doing it. And all these brands are collaborating with them. I'm not interested, but I will say this packaging is really, really cute. And I like that it looks just like the Powerpuff Girls because I do feel like some of their other collabs, the packaging wasn't as like cute as the actual thing. Like the cartoon thing they did on the Hocus Pocus palette, which I do have that one. I don't love that one as much. I mean, I get that Hocus Pocus is not like a cartoon and whatever, so they kind of had to modify it, but I don't know. I think this packaging is really good. I would not buy this. More power to ColourPop though. They are getting that money. And last up, Besame has a collab with Mulan. It's a refillable compact and lipstick for $125. This is really, really beautiful. I've never tried Besame. I think it's a cool brand. Like they're doing this old school traditional makeup, the refillable compacts, which is how makeup used to come. I think it's really, really neat, but their products never like speak to me. I'm not ever wowed by it, but I mean, I like their concepts. I really do. I mean, I wish I was more interested in the brand. I'm just not. But I like their whole vibe and the things that they're going for. And I do think that this is beautiful, but yeah, it's just not really for me. Alrighty, that is it for this video. Yeah, I am definitely not purchasing any of these items. Some of these I do think are cute, and I will say, yeah, the Powerpuff Girls one, I'm excited to see what the actual products are gonna be, but I don't think I would actually buy it. But yeah, let us know, are you getting any of these products? Have you already purchased them? That is it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.